I love the looks my ladies give me. I love holding the ladies. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Sort of.
Come on, come with me. These are my ladies. This is Jill. This is my lady Amy. Little Susie. Brianna. You know why we call her Brianna, right?
No.
It's a long story. Shaniqua. Helga. Miss Kitty. Jeannie. I dream of, Teresa. This is Teresa right here.
Now, is Teresa, is that your...
Dirty girl. This spot is for my special lady, Leah. I'm gonna say that one more time. Leah. Oh, yeah. That's a sweet, sweet lady.
Tank, are you polishing your trophies again?
Mom, I wasn't polishing. I was talking to my friends. I'm gonna be polishing later.
Hi, I'm Warwick Andrews, and I'm about to show you the rides in my collection. This is Fool's Gold, a 2018 Ram 3500. Originally built for SEMA 2019, this truck actually went to the show. And when it came back to Calgary, it was at the body shop where it was getting a little bit of extra work done, and it was stolen. The forum, the Alberta Coal Rollers, got wind of it, and they had it all over the local news. Everybody was searching for this truck. High and low, it's pretty hard not to spot. A couple weeks later, it was found at McLean Creek, an off-road place near town here, and a bunch of things were stolen off of it. After it was recovered, the body shop that had it released the footage from the night that the truck was stolen, and believe it or not, it was stolen using the same truck and trailer that had previously dropped it off at the body shop. So it was the previous owner that stole it. He got busted, and the truck went to auction, which is where I picked it up. It is currently missing its front end, as you can tell. I'm currently searching out a 2019 or newer Ram that has either been rolled or burnt or maybe even shot up that I can peel the front end off of and put onto this to upgrade it. It's got some pretty ridiculous doors here. Are you ready for this? Yep, that's right. Suicide doors. And this interior is crazy. It's gonna fit the new theme of the truck really, really well. I'm not gonna tell you what that is, but it's pretty wild. I'm hoping to actually have this truck done for SEMA 2023. If I can get the front end here for it tomorrow, then I'm gonna start on it tomorrow. It's a bit of a project, but it's gonna be pretty cool. This is my 1994 BMW E36 M3 Euro Spec Common Wide Body Individual Package. Woo, say that 3 times fast. BMW Euro Spec. This is actually naturally aspirated still. It is built to be a replica of the DTM GT Cup Series car that was raced in the early 90s. It's got an S50 B30 in it. It's got the individual throttle bodies. Bought this 6 years ago at auction, looking like it had just came out of the Fast and Furious 3 remake. It was terrible.
What the hell is even that?
All that stuff is really easy to remove though, and the bones on this thing are really good. It has got an original 1990s Common wide body kit on it. It's molded into it before all those stick-on flares of today's day and age. This thing is OG. It's gonna be going on the dyno very shortly, up to Edmonton to get that done. I'm gonna be tracking it more. I've already taken it to Area 27 in the Okanagan. Yeah, this isn't quite how I wanted to leave the racetrack today. Hopefully hitting up the Badlands Motorsports and Castrol and a few other places here relatively shortly. I'm gonna definitely be drifting with it again. I've been to the RMDC Rocky Mountain Drift Club a few times. Along with continuing to show it. It will be at the Driven Car Show along with Chainsmoker on May 7th in Calgary. This one has been sitting all winter, so I don't know if it's actually gonna start or not. No, we got nothing. Maybe I unplugged the battery because I'm kind of smart? No, of course I didn't do that because I'm not kind of smart. This is my 2013 Skidoo Summit 800. It's actually a little old when you're getting into the snowmobile game because things are evolving so quickly, but this one has a Boondocker turbo kit and 3-inch lugs on the track, so it still plays with the big boys. I built these headlights right here, first ever custom headlights I've seen on a snowmobile. I was doing the LEDs before the LEDs were cool. That's kind of what the new ones look like. Had this guy for 7 years. This is actually the first sled that I ever had. At the time, it was the most powerful sled on the hill. Learning to ride, this thing was definitely in control. But now that I'm a little bit better, it is really nice to be in control of it because it is a bull. Gotta love it. Boost. This is my 87 Chevy S10 on an 84 K10 chassis. I bought this truck after it had been donated to the Kidney Foundation. Previous owner had very thoroughly loved and enjoyed using it as his mudding truck, but he had unfortunately passed away and his wife was tired of seeing it. Just reminded her of him, don't blame her one bit, and she donated it. And then I picked it up. I painted it black and did that and this. If you look real closely, it is mainly a body lift, so the engine's just kind of right there, but I mean, we don't talk about Bruno. Doubled up the S10 setup. So if you cut that off, that looks like an S10 right there. And then I doubled that up and now it looks like a Blazer. It's like a really, really large Blazer. Doubled up the air horns that were on there, put on some fire lights so they swirl around. Obviously you gotta have a light bar. We got the roll bar, we got the stacks, got a snorkel. May or may not be hooked up along with this winch that I put on, but there's just a little bit more work to do and this thing's ready to hit the trails. I found a receipt inside the truck for an engine rebuild from 10 years before I bought it. I used that to track down the previous owner. I actually was chatting with her and I told her that now that I've rebuilt the truck, I want to show her what's been done. She was really excited by that fact, but then right after that, she wrote me a message through Facebook and then she deleted her account and I couldn't read what the message was. So now I gotta find a way to get back in touch with Jacqueline. If you happen to know Jacqueline, let me know. That would be sweet. Last year for Stampede, I took the 30-inch rims from Fool's Gold and I threw them on and drove around. It was hilarious. People totally thought that I was being serious, just the comments that I had. We'll probably do it again. You got to get some entertainment out of yourself, right? It's actually got a new, pretty low kilometer 350 engine in it that we swapped in last year. See if it'll start. Oh man, that was quick. Holy smokes. That's legit. Oh, my neighbors hate me. This is my 2005 Honda CBR 600 RR. It's actually the first motorized bike that I ever rode. This actual bike. That was 15 years ago. So I bought it crashed at the salvage auction, stripped it down, pulled it all apart, threw it back all together, and then drove it around. Had no idea what I was doing. Had the RPM at 3,000. Thought that that's just how it was supposed to be. Called up one of my buddies and I was like, hey man, what's going on? Why is my bike not working? And he's like, well, you should be at about 8,000 RPM. And I'm just an idiot, but I mean, that was the first bike I ever drove, so how was I supposed to know? I've been down a couple times on the racetrack with it. That was my windshield from one of the times. That was in California. Haven't been riding as much as I would like, but this year hopefully things change now that Chain Smoker's actually built and I get some time to myself, and also because there is a new racetrack very close by, and of course I will bring you along as well. This is my 1975 Pontiac Granville. It's my honky-tonk lowrider. I bought it 9 years ago at the salvage auction and then installed 6-foot bull horns on the hood along with some other cowboy stuff and slammed it on an airbag kit I pieced together. I've cruised this thing for many enjoyable years. It was the reception car at my friend's wedding, even being in the Stampede Parade 3 times. Yeah! And in the Dream Rally out in Kelowna. And then also in the Royal Rally, where unfortunately I blew the engine. That's it. That's all she wrote. I've got a wanted ad on Kijiji for a 455, so I'm pretty confident that this thing is gonna get finished in the next, realistically, year or so. And then it'll be back on the road cruising, dragging its ass and sparking up the rear end. It's a lot of fun. This is my 2008 KTM 450 Enduro. Purchased at the auction 5 years ago, and I actually never dirt biked before. So when I bought this guy, I have been learning on it ever since. This bike is actually an Enduro, which means that it not only is good for the trail, it's also street legal. So it's got turn signals, horn, spots for mirrors. Pretty awesome to be having a bad day and then go out for lunch and just take this thing, wrap it up and release that energy, come back to work feeling like a new man. This thing definitely opened up my eyes to the world of dirt biking, and you're gonna get to see that because the season is coming up pretty quickly here. This is my '84 Dodge Caravan. The first year of the very first minivan ever made. My Caravan's a little bit different than most Caravans. If you look closely, you'll actually notice that it is a unibody, which has the frame built into the body, and that is on top of another frame. And that's because this frame right here is from an early '80s Toyota pickup truck. And they've spent a lot of time on this. Under here, it has got a GM V6, which is then paired to that Toyota pickup 4-speed manual transmission and transfer case. Saved it from the wrecking yard last year, where it was buried into the ground with its fate pretty much sealed as scrap metal. You couldn't even tell that it was on solid axles because they were so deep in the dirt. The goal with this thing is to build it into a chip Foose render. Most of the work is already done for it. It's basically a 4x4 beach buggy minivan. He made that as a tribute to the Caravan after however many years of service, because they no longer make it. It's done. We won't really be able to get to it for a little bit here. In the meantime, I'm probably just gonna keep daily driving it a little bit because it's pretty cool. Still has the full Caravan interior. I can see that it still has power. So will it start? Oh yeah, no problem. She's good to go. This is my '87 Subaru GL Sedan. I bought this bad boy in the wrecking yard, crammed between junk cars. All I did was give it a tune-up and it was good to go. Started right up. Love this thing because I can give her 100% and still just keeps up with traffic pretty much. It's not very fast, but it's well protected. I got a nice little home back there for the dogs. They don't really love this one too much. One of the decals is for this body shop here called Crowfoot Image Auto Body. They still exist, so I am planning on taking the car down to them, seeing what kind of cool history they can give me. If you look super closely here, you'll see it says Subaru Rally, and then the stickers were peeled off, but it says Team Canada underneath that. The plan for this thing, take it out of retirement, and then hit up a local Alberta race with it. Looking it over, it's not in great condition underneath, but yeah, I think it could handle it. Either way, I know that it would be a good time and definitely an entertaining YouTube video. This is actually an all-wheel drive unit. It even has a low. I don't know what any of this stuff does, but I know what this does. Oh, will it start? It's been a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, baby. I know you want to.
12 seconds later.
Oh, this is not going so good.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Yeah, the starter's probably pretty hot by now. Yeah, it's okay. Whoa! What about straight all the way down? Would you like that, huh? A little bit of that, huh? Oh, yeah. This is my 2001 Harley Road Glide. It is a bagger. It has got a 26-inch front wheel. It has got an astonishing 205,000 kilometers. 200,000! That's actually crazy. I had another one of these just before, had the same big wheel conversion, and I had a sidecar on it. I actually taught my dog Coco how to cruise in it with me. What's a Coco in her natural environment? Yeah! And it was a lot of fun. We're probably gonna be doing that same thing with this again. Game plan for this, it is going to be a matching bike to Chainsmoker. The only difference is that it's gonna have brand new paint on it. So it's gonna go dark blue, baby blue, and I'm gonna build a bunch of chains. It's gonna be a little while before this is done. I mean, realistically, let's say the next year or two, I think. After doing this video, I'm coming to realize I have a lot of projects that I need to work on. Well, I mean, I am working on them. And Kale, him and I are slowly but surely chipping away. This is Chainsmoker version 2, a 1947 Fargo FL1. Reclaimed from a Manitoba field. Every panel is matching, all of the patina, everything is original. I had this idea to make a wide body kit with chains, and then as I was building it, it just kept going the next level to the next level. This is eventually what came out of it. Underneath there is a 6BT Cummins. It is a crate engine built with only the highest performance aftermarket parts and machine work. Compound turbo setup with a 74mm turbo feeding the nasty 96mm beast right there. It's about as good as it gets. NV 4500 manual transmission, 5-speed, stage 6 clutch, box frame, along with the tube frame, roll cage, which is tube, and then that goes all throughout. 14-inch C-notch, got a 4-link suspension with a Watts link on air suspension, which goes up about 6 inches. All of the wide body chain came from a 1940s decommissioned elevator. It was just a huge stack of it, and I knew what I had to do as soon as I saw it. Inside the interior here, we have 3 swords. One of them is the Gladius Damascus shifter. The other one is the Spanish Toledo drift brake. And then a American-made Bowie knife, which is hooked up to a 4Runner e-brake system. So you pull it out to engage it, and then twist it back to set it back in. Chainsmoker's actually been to the last 2 SEMA shows. The last one, we made a video for it. You should take a peek at that. I will post it at the end of this video. Lots to come for Chainsmoker in the future. Dyno runs, Dream Rally, Royal Rally, bunch of other stuff. There might even be a trip to the States again for some other collaboration with some other YouTube channels. Maybe even eventually a Euro trip. I don't know. This truck really did take my soul, so I won't ever sell it. It is genuinely my legacy. The amount of hours that I've got into this is more than pretty much any sane man would put into something. And now it's time for something that hasn't happened since SEMA. It's just been sitting here for 6 months. All right, we've got fuel pump. Sounds like it's about to have a fit. Here we go. Oh yeah, no problem. This is another 40s Fargo. I use this truck as my before when I show Chainsmoker at the car show. And this is another 40s Fargo. Funny story with these trucks. I actually had a permit to turn it into a flower bed in my front yard, and I put it out there, and my neighbors, they didn't really like the idea of that. So they actually called the city every single day and complained, started a petition, made this huge thing, and the city eventually pulled my permit. And now here it is in my backyard. Well, this one sits in a corner at my mom's acreage until I can get my own. Lastly, I'm gonna show you a few other things that are important to me. This is my 9-year-old Border Collie Black Lab, Coco. And this is my 1-year-old Golden Retriever, Rusty. You're going to be seeing quite a bit of them in the background of my videos. This is my automotive dealership in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I started it when I was 23 years old and have been giving her ever since. This is my engine block coffee table. I made it out of a BMW 7 Series engine. It's got 6 overhead cams and it has a party trick. This is what I went to trade school for and my eventual goal to own. And this is me doing stupid stuff over the years, which you're probably gonna see more of. haven't done everything yet, but I definitely want to. So if you want to see that happen, click subscribe, and then you can come along on the adventure. And make sure to check out my Chainsmoker video from SEMA 2021 version 2, which I mentioned earlier. It is available to watch right here.